New Chelsea manager, Mauricio Pochettino's sensational comeback, the Bruno Fernandes transfer and Sergio Ramos by Sevilla. All of this and more in today's episode. Friends, we are starting the year with incredible transfer and managerial madness. While everyone was celebrating, Chelsea officially announced the dismissal of Enzo Maresca after only 18 months since his appointment. And this is despite the fact that he brought the club 2 trophies, the Conference League and the Club World Cup. But the fire is burning at Stamford Bridge once again, and the reasons for this dismissal are truly shocking. According to insiders, the final straw was Maresca's open conflict with the medical department over limiting playing time for stars, specifically Cole Palmer. However, the real bomb lies elsewhere. It turns out that behind the board's back, Maresca was conducting negotiations with Juventus and Manchester City. He issued an ultimatum, either a new improved contract or he leaves. The Blues owners chose a radical path and showed him the door within 48 hours. Who will be next? High-profile names immediately appeared in the media. Legends like Cesc Fabregas and Xavi Hernandez were considered as candidates capable of bringing back the club's championship spirit. Their arrival would have been a true sensation. Names like Roberto De Zerbi, Oliver Glasner, and Andoni Iraola also surfaced. However, at this moment, the situation has shifted dramatically. The main and virtually only favourite has become Liam Rosenior. This name might be new to the general public, but he currently leads Strasbourg, a club that is part of the Blueco ecosystem, the same owners as Chelsea. Rosenior is seen as the ideal system manager who will not argue with the leadership and will work strictly with the youth. All other star candidates are currently considered unlikely options. My verdict: the appointment of Liam Rosenior looks like another attempt by the owners to get an obedient coach instead of a strong leader. This is a huge risk, throwing a man without experience working at top clubs into such chaos in the middle of the season. If Rosenior is announced today, he will have to perform a miracle to save this season. Chelsea has turned into a football laboratory where experiments are valued more than stability. And while the Blues are looking for a replacement on the managerial bridge, news from Manchester could split the Manchester United fan camp in half. As reported by Football Insider, the club's management is seriously considering the possibility of selling their captain Bruno Fernandes. Furthermore, the bosses are not ruling out that the Portuguese international could leave Old Trafford as early as January. It turns out there is an interesting detail in Bruno's contract, a release clause in the amount of £52.5 million. However, there is one important condition. It can only be triggered by clubs from outside the English Premier League. This is a direct signal to giants from Saudi Arabia, Spain, or Germany. Bruno himself recently admitted that he felt the club's desire to sell him back in the summer, and it hurt him deeply. Despite the fact that he is already 31 years old, he remains the leader of the team, but the management seems to want to secure a solid sum for him before his market price begins to drop sharply. My verdict: selling Bruno Fernandes now is a very controversial move. On one hand, £52.5 million for a player over 30 is not bad business. On the other hand, Bruno is the heart of this United side and the main creative force in Ruben Amorim's system. Without him, the Red Devils risk completely losing their identity in the middle of the park. If this transfer happens in January, it will be a clear signal that Amorim is beginning a global overhaul where there is no room for the old guard. But if you thought the managerial sensations ended with Maresca's dismissal, then hold on tight. London's Tottenham is preparing a plan that will blow up the entire Premier League. According to information from Indicator News, the Spurs bosses are considering the possibility of a grand return for Mauricio Pochettino as early as this summer. The situation at Tottenham is currently critical. Thomas Frank, who was brought in from Brentford in the summer, started very strongly, but now the team's results have simply collapsed. Spurs are languishing in 12th place in the table, and during recent matches, the fans have openly booed the team. The management is not sure that the Dane can fix the situation, so they are already looking for someone who can return the club to its former glory. Mauricio Pochettino is the ideal candidate, as it was under him that Tottenham experienced their best times, notably reaching the Champions League final in 2019. Currently, the Argentine leads the United States national team and is preparing them for the home World Cup in 2026. Obviously, he will not leave until the end of the tournament, but after the World Cup, the scenario of his return to London looks more than realistic. My verdict: Mauricio Pochettino's return to Tottenham is what every other Spurs fan dreams of, but is it worth the Argentine stepping into the same river twice? On one hand, it's a chance to fix an unfinished story. On the other, the club is currently in a much more difficult state than it was 7 years ago. In any case, after the World Cup, a grand reshuffling of forces awaits us in London. Another interesting piece of news from London, where Raheem Sterling continues his search for the ideal place to restart his career. According to a report by The Times, the 31-year-old winger responded with a categorical refusal to a loan offer from West Ham United. Instead, Raheem made it clear that his priority is a move to Fulham. It seems Sterling wants to stay in the capital, but the Cottagers project and the opportunity to work under Marco Silva appeal to him much more than the option with the Hammers. My verdict: Sterling at Fulham could become a true crown jewel of Craven Cottage. He still has pace, and the reduced pressure compared to Premier League giants will allow him to enjoy football again. This will be a high-quality reinforcement for a team fighting for European spots, and for Raheem himself, a chance to prove that it's too early to write him off. A true sensation from Spain, Sergio Ramos has submitted an official offer to buy Sevilla. According to Cope, the 39-year-old defender has led a group of investors to pull his boyhood club out of a financial abyss. At the same time, Ramos is not retiring. He is being actively courted by AC Milan, where a former star teammate of the Real Madrid legend, who now works within the Rossoneri structure, is personally interested in the transfer. Just imagine, during the day, Ramos signs the papers to buy Sevilla, and in the evening, he steps onto the San Siro pitch in the Champions League. Ultimately, Ramos is a person for whom nothing is impossible. His desire to save Sevilla is a gesture of true love for his home. But combining the role of a club owner in Spain and an active player in Italy is a challenge football has never seen. If he truly moves to Milan, we will get a unique precedent where the president of one club defends the colours of another in European competitions. It will be legendary. And finally, let's go through the official transfers of the last few hours. West Ham has seriously taken up the task of strengthening their attack. The Hammers squad is joined by Argentine striker Tati Castellanos. The deal with Lazio was closed for €29 million. In addition to him, the Londoners are signing another forward Pablo from Gil Vicente. Brennan Johnson is leaving Tottenham and moving to Crystal Palace. The transfer fee amounted to £33.5 million. The player is already undergoing a medical examination to finalise the Eagles' long-term project. West Ham is not only buying but also selling. Young talent Luis Guilherme is moving to Sporting Lisbon. The total deal package, including bonuses, will amount to €17 million, and the Londoners have also retained a percentage of the player's next resale. Aston Villa has officially confirmed the signing of a Brazilian wonderkid. The 19-year-old winger Alisson moves from Gremio for €10 million plus another €2 million in bonuses. And to conclude, the legendary comeback continues. Neymar has officially signed a new contract with Santos. The agreement is for 1 more year until December 2026. The Brazilian remains at home for at least 1 more season. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Keep watching for more football action, and have a wonderful day.